Today it's Mother's Day, international, I believe, and I'm not getting any present of my son Joshua because he's very angry because I am in the lawsuit. Um, my ex is a drug addict, and he's occasion, and he's a good liar. Many drug addicts are good liars, and there was no way that I could defend myself about everything that he was talking about. I'm a black woman, so nobody believed me in a situation. So what happened is I wrote my book, Thriller: The Dark Side of Netherlands, about the child protection, all the things, because my ex have totally destroyed my family life in every human rights that you can have. And I was even advised by the Human Rights Court in French to start the lawsuit, having respect for my human rights. And because I was facing all legal problems surrounding my son, but in all the times, in all the legal problems I was in surrounding my child, I was paying a lot of bills. So I wasn't allowed to see my son when his father didn't want to, and he could play around with the child protection, saying all crazy things about me that I couldn't prove. And because I'm a black woman, saying Michael Jackson is my father, I already was judged wrong, judged bad. But good part, my money was good enough. So what happened is I paid almost for everything for raising my son without ever getting anything back. And in return of it, this situation is not new in this country, the Netherlands. I'm not the only person who go to this kind of trauma. But the funny thing is that I'm a registered healthcare giver. So I was allowed to work with very sick people, take care of their needs, but I wasn't allowed to have a visitation right with my son whenever I need it, whenever I want. And, even there was some court judgment that I needed to have my visitation right. My ex, the child protection, believed that he was the perfect parent because he's not delusional thinking Michael Jackson is his father. So they really had to have me in this scenario. And so they discriminate me. Discrimination is already past it. They apartheid. They put apartheid on me because he was white. Let's say he was Caucasian. He had a father and mother, so he was more stable than me. But while I was the one making more money, I was the one working in the healthcare. I was the one study for the healthcare, study for children care. I could do my job, but I couldn't have any right to see my son. So when my son was 17, he started to get more understanding what's going on. And my ex was a huge drug addict from that moment. So he have been really brainwashing my son for a very long time. And me as a mom, all the time I was thinking, okay, there are things that I want to accomplish. I want my son to have his education. I want my son to see the world. I want my son to have enough food in the house. I want my son to have a joyful youth, even with his crazy parents. And I succeeded, but I never get the respect that I believe I deserve and earn. So there was a lot of organization always call me when they needed money, 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 money. Because one thing you can say about me, Mocienne Petit Jackson, I know how to make money. I'm a really hardworking person, and I love it. I love to be a part of the economic. I love my healthcare job, really love it. For the first time after 29 years, I'm going to take a break. I'm not going to work for the healthcare. I'm going to take care of myself. And taking care of myself is also this problem with my son. So what I did, I went to court with a child protection case, and I want them to explain to me why they have abused me financially all this year, mentally abused me, and allowed my drug addict's ex to raise our son, because he's not the son of Michael Jackson, and he's not a dancer. He's not an artist. Yes, he's an artist. He's a guitar player, but he is not Michael Jackson's son. So that's why I went to court. My beautiful son Joshua, he's now 23. Sorry, 22. He's gonna be 22 years this year, and he thinks he knows it all, while he doesn't. And that's the age, you have children need time to become an adult, and they need to create their own thoughts, their own mind. And I am now been putting on the wall of shame. So that's what happened to me now. So in this Mother's Day 2022, I'm not getting a call, as I haven't been getting for the last 2 years. I'm not getting any appreciated, as I have not been getting since he was 4 years old, because to him it's normal to have a mom who pay the bills. It's normal to have a mom that his father always put all the dirt on. It's so my child grow up without respecting my hard work. But it's okay. At least I accomplished the things that I wanted my son to accomplish in life. He finished his school, his education, so proud about that. He learned a lot from his father not to use drugs. That's amazing. He learned about that. He's an extraordinary individual himself. That's wonderful. And one thing I didn't succeed in, and that was that my son, that he had tattoos. I don't like tattoos, so that's really one thing that I didn't accomplish. I didn't accomplish to not getting my son tattoos. My ex, father of my child, he always let my son do what he is scared to do himself. So he didn't take any tattoos, but he let my son take the tattoos. So this Mother's Day 2022, I'm not getting any present. But I have to tell you, very honest, that I don't mind. I'm so happy that my son is working. I'm so happy that he's healthy. I'm so happy that he has a job. I'm so happy he's positive in this life. I'm so grateful that in this horrible situation, I managed to do my part to keep my son mentally um, fine and healthy. Situation with his father have made him stronger, braver. I feel so blessed as his mom. I feel so blessed. I couldn't ask for anything more than what my son have accomplished in the situation that he have lived. And now I'm doing this lawsuit. That really make him angry. That really, really, really make him angry with me, because he has no understanding of how horrible it have been for me the last years. He have, And I think it's his time to grow up. And it's boys always grow up later than girls do, and my son is the proof of that. And I feel very blessed, extraordinarily blessed to be his mom. But I cannot wait till I have a normal relationship with my son again. To everyone who see me on the street ask me about my son, I'm very honest with it. I really tell people what is. And the fact is, I haven't seen my son for 2 years, and he's been very rude to me since he was really 17. And I don't know how much time is going to take, but in the meanwhile, I really want to focus on telling my story, um, Thriller the Dark Side Netherlands and Thriller Betrayal, because especially in my political book, Thriller the Dark Side Netherlands, it can really help people to be focused on their career. What I did was in all this mess. Jewish word mess is balagan. I have some Jewish friends, and in all this mess, I learned that you need to keep your positivity and you need to be focused on something. And I think self education is so important, and not to feel sorry for yourself. I'm really a hard believer. If you have stress, work hard. Try to put your mind on a positive thing that you can find, whatever it is, as long as it's not drugs, because drugs is not positive. And if you can do that, I believe you can accomplish a lot. And this is the first time in my life that I surrender, that I'm not gonna put myself into work. I'm just gonna relax my body. That's because the last 38 years I've been fighting the Dutch government with lawsuits about my identity because I was kidnapped. This lawsuit is also going on, and I will keep talking about that journey. But in this journey of my kidnapping, I fell in love with a great guitarist player, father of my son, but he seems to be a drug addict. And I was a survivor, so I was thinking, "Phew, I'm not going to stay in this relationship." And when I was out of relationship, I started to be happy. He just tried to destroy my life, and that's what he's been doing for 24 years. And he wanted to have more babies with me, father of my son, but I said no, and he never forgave me that. Something in his mind just broke, and he decided to destroy me. And in this country there is apartheid, and he is Caucasian, so he knew he had the power to destroy me, and that's what he's been doing the last 24 years. And now I went to court because I want the court system to explain to me how this could happen to my life. I want them to explain to me why, just why, you know. I've been thinking Michael Jackson is my father's not the worst thing in the world, especially if you can imagine other horrible things in the world. So, yeah, I want them to explain that to me. And this court is going to find out. And I feel doing this court is I'm really standing up for myself of of my life for the first time. The greatest thing about my life on this moment is that I don't have to raise a small child that needs to have his diploma, that needs to have his mental wealth, need to have clothes, need to do. My son is grow up. He has a job. He is in school. He can manage. He can manage it. So now finally, I can. Let me. I. Now finally, I can put all the focus on me, and that's finishing this case. Going into the lawsuit with the Dutch government. And to me, it's huge. I feel like I'm healing. This whole process of what I'm doing now, I'm healing. I think like after this, after when this is over, I can build up my life the way I want without all this drama, balagan, and Jewish um, hunting me. So this is good. My son is not giving me support in this moment, and I miss him very much. Mother's Day doesn't mean anything to me, so it's okay. But because it's Mother's Day, I wanted to make this message anyway, and especially for my son saying, whatever you think of me, I love you for life. I love you. You're the best thing. And the sun is beautiful today. Absolutely beautiful. Look, all this green. It's gorgeous. Well, this is what I wanted to say. And so I'm this court. I'm in two courts. I'm court with the therapist of my son, why they always call me to rip me off financially. Court with the Dutch government. They knew I was kidnapped. They didn't do anything. So why? And then the child protection, who had intercourse with my ex, fell in love with him, wrote horrible reports about me because he's beautiful, gorgeous, drug addicts. They never believed me. Huh? They never believed me that my father of my son wasn't drug addicts, and this is why my relationship with him ended. They never believed it. They never cared. They never cared. But anyway, I am proud with my child. I love him very much, and I thank God for him every day, and I'm happy. I'm really counting my blessings. So to the rest of the mothers in the world, if you have a difficult situation, don't cry. Just hang on it. Make yourself happy. Be focused on a good thing. You give life, and life is not yours. My son, I give him life, but he's not mine. I'm his mom. He's not mine. He's his own individual. Individual. So I want to say bye bye, and keep you updating about my court with child protection. It's a huge moment in my life in this moment. So, so wonderful weather. Bye bye. This was Mocienne Petit Jackson.